What's going on, boxing fans? It's Jordan Williams with The Distance. Here for this post-fight video, Wladimir Klitschko versus Eddie Chambers. Overall, not your big-time brawl that a lot of people expect to see. Nobody expects to see a brawl in this fight. But overall, it was a good fight. Wladimir Klitschko and Eddie Chambers, good fight. But one side. Hard to give a round to Eddie Chambers in this fight. Eddie Chambers, and on top of that, there was moments in the fight where Eddie Chambers just should have let his hands go. When he let his hands go, Wladimir, kept kind of jumping back and trotting backwards. He wants Wladimir to step back, and Chambers had the ability to do it with the hand speed. Should have let his hands go. There were moments in the fight when Chambers was just throwing single shots, and when you have hand speed like Eddie Chambers, you want to let your hands go against Wladimir Klitschko. You want to set the pace of the fight. You want to get your shots off first. But Chambers didn't get his shots off first. So, overall, we saw the result. 12th round knockout, 15 seconds left in the fight. Left hook through the guard. That shows you how powerful, a Klitschko left hand is. And when I first saw it, I didn't think that the shot, even hit Chambers. But I looked at it, observed it more closely, and I saw that it went through that guard. But overall, onto the fight, Klitschko basically, the full 12, measured Eddie Chambers with that left jab. The left jab dictated the whole pace of the fight. Wladimir just kept throwing his left jab and kept trying to sneak in the right hand. Rounds 5 through 10, Wladimir tried to open up but wasn't able to because Chambers had that tight defensive guard. And but is it me or in this fight did you kind of see the same thing happen? All 12 rounds. Basically, Wladimir. I thought all 12 rounds was Wladimir coming forward with the left jab and Chambers moving backwards. Taking steps back and getting himself trapped on the ropes or trapped in the corner or whatever. But it was in the second round when I saw that when Wladimir landed that right hand that made Chambers, take those steps back right into the ropes, and then after that, it was basically just left jab, and then he would try to open up with the right hand but wasn't able to because I noticed that after Chambers got hit with that right hand that it kind of stumbled him. He was kind of in a little different mood because in the first round you saw the confidence there. He had a lot of confidence in the first round. He would put his hands down and stuff like that. But after he got hurt, it was different. He had that tight defense. Tight defense up high. And sometimes the left jab was landing like right in between the guard, and then Wladimir in like round 5 and 6 started to jab to the body. Because when his guard was up that high, the body was open, so he started to jab to the body, and that just made Chambers take those steps back, and it was a overall different fight. It wasn't a different fight, but it was the same fight. The full 12. It was very, just to me, I just thought it was one side. I thought that Wladimir outboxed Chambers for a full 12, but you can debate round 9. Because in round 9, Chambers started to, let his hands go a little more freely, and really, that's really what Chambers should have done the whole fight, was make Wladimir take steps back. That's what he should have done the whole fight, was let his hands go. But there were times Chambers was just throwing one shot at a time, and but at the same time, it's like I understand, because he did get hurt with that right hand in the second round, but overall, I think that one of the problems was Chambers did not know how to figure out the style of Wladimir Klitschko. I think with his style, I just don't think that Chambers knew how to figure out Wladimir to beat him, to adjust his style and beat him. I think that's what ended up happening. And the fact that, and when you're in a fight, you need a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And you need a lot of plans in a fight, in order to win. Especially against an opponent like a Klitschko. But so it's like if plan A doesn't work, let's use plan B. If plan B doesn't work, let's go to plan C. or why don't we just combine 2-3 plans, and let's try, all these plans together and see what works, but it seemed like Chambers didn't have that. Chambers, came out, stood in front of Klitschko, pretty much got jabbed to death somewhat, but Chambers, overall is a really good fighter. I really hope to see more from him in the future. Hopefully, and onto the knockout. The knockout was awful. That wasn't just your regular knockout. That was a knock the fuck out. Pretty much, that was a big time knock the fuck out. I'm glad that he's okay. I hope to see more from him someday, but I hope that he doesn't get into that damaged goods realm. Where a lot of fighters who get knocked the fuck out go to. Especially after getting knocked out like that. A lot of fighters, when you get knocked out, they don't recover the same. A lot of fighters like that, especially being knocked out the way that he was. But Eddie Chambers, I really hope to see more from him soon. Maybe he can become a titleist someday or future champion. Hopefully, I really hope to see more from Eddie Chambers. Wladimir Klitschko, who in terms of skill, I think is underrated. I think even though it's left jab, right hand, left jab, right hand, left jab, left hook, even though he does tend to do the same thing every fight, it works for him. Very it's just, even though it's very, what they say, robotic, it works for him. With his size and power, and pretty much power in both hands. But hopefully he does fight the Adamek Areola winner. I hope he fights the Adamek Areola winner. That's really what I hope Wladimir does. I think that would be a really good fight for him. I'd love to see Wladimir fight Adamek, to be quite honest. I'd love to see him fight Adamek, but Areola, that'd be a good fight as well. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on the fight. I thought it was a one-sided beatdown. Not necessarily a beatdown, but a one-sided boxing match. Wladimir basically outboxed Chambers for a full 12. Though you can debate maybe a couple rounds to give to Chambers, I thought it was at least leading up was probably 11 round, about 10 rounds to 1, and it was leading up to 11 rounds of 1 fight. But anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.